Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a concluding session. At the beginning of this morning, I said the symposium objective and we will achieve some conclusion how to further enhance human survivability studies for solving global issues. And of course, we dealt with SDGs. All of the goals are related to human survivability, and students and the participants touched upon one or some of them or all of them in your presentations or talk. And today's agenda included 3 keynote speeches and 2 sessions by presentations by students. And finally, we had the panel discussion just now. We heard various kinds of opinion from the panelists and discussants from the floor. And I think this is not conclusion, this is a kind of summary. Asia has a variety of countries facing and tackling various global and local issues. Keynote speakers introduced a number of hot issues, such as global plastic pollution, making use of biosphere reserves, geoparks and heritages, UNESCO green academies, water, energy, food nexus, and connecting SDGs with regional and national context is fulfillment, and the quantification leads into proper pathway, which is crucial for coordinating efforts. Tendency of different energies in Asia was also introduced. And the SDGs can connect regions. And the policymakers, industries, and academics collaboration is very necessary. And the collective actions by all countries and all sectors is necessary. And the innovations and the partnership and the importance of higher education and innovation. So those kinds of things. I wonder some important things are missing, but we may ask keynote speakers later to add important things. And but those keywords were presented by 3 keynote speakers. Then we had 2 student sessions, and our Shishukan, GSAIS, is dealing with SDGs as a useful idea to promote interdisciplinary and holistic approaches and inclusive research activities. In my classrooms, I'm circulating SDGs official document to the students, and some parts of the documents we read out, or students read out. And I ask students how your research is relating to which goals, which targets. So this kind of classroom activities I am doing. And also I'm circulating Sendai Framework documents and the Paris Agreement documents. And it is a very good occasion for students to learn how to write such international official documents, how to read such international official documents. So this is kind of education we are doing. And based on such activities, educational activities, students are doing various kinds of research works, making use of the research groups activities, and as well as many other activities, going to abroad and doing internships, and etc. And today, 8 students presented issues related to children behaviors, taxing global economy, power system policy in ASEAN, cognitive function of elderly people, education for ethnic children in Myanmar, sustainable city concept in Kita-Kyushu, plastic waste management, and reducing food waste. And they mentioned the relationships with SDGs and the importance of interdisciplinary approaches. And students' researches are recognized and well linked to SDGs. And students are thinking globally and acting locally. So this was mentioned by Mr. Boer from UNESCO Bangkok office. And we had a panel, what academic can do for SDGs in Asia. Panelists presented issues related to something like this. Asia has 2/3 people who cannot access to proper food, and the poor nutrition kills more people. Food loss and waste problem is very important and the pertinent question. Where are we? Who are we? Or something like that. And the SDGs are interrelated each other, and the rigorous and the honest evaluation can be done by academia. Only academia can do that. And needs to focus research on high impact areas to achieve SDGs. And the urgent need of academia's actions, renewable energy in ASEAN, but still we have lack of coordination and the collaboration with academia. Scientific results persuade policymakers. Networking by academia for tangible actions, capacity building in academic institutions. So those kinds of collaboration is very important. And finally, Dr. Yamashiki mentioned sustainable mother planet idea, and he also mentioned water, energy, food are essential for human survivability. And human survivability studies promote a linkage between traditional specific research and the new integrated field of study. And this is final slides. The left-hand side, we have Hashi, eight disciplines of thinking. And so students are learning those 8 disciplines. Students are doing interdisciplinary holistic approaches and inclusive and innovative research activities. And this is the academia side. And on the other hand, the right-hand side is SDGs. This is just practice. The people, policymakers, industries, government, or many other organizations, NGO, NPOs, also related. And we need some interactions, of course. So sometimes from academia side to practice, to give such as science-based evidence, for example. And such evidence can persuade the policymakers. And they may do very good policy to the people. The people will be happy. So this is the ideal situation. But as Dr. Kayashima said, there is a very often big gap between academia and practice. And the problem is how to overcome such gaps. And I'd like to invite some participants to mention something about this kind of summary figure. I said something very general comments I made, but you may add some comments from your viewpoints. Or you may correct my conclusion summaries, and some important things are lacking, so you may add something to my review of this symposium. So we have only 5 minutes, so I'd like to invite several persons by using 1 minute each. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Takara. I think this was a wonderful seminar. I enjoyed it greatly. Very well balanced. Everything was well in place. Fantastic intellectual exchanges. I think one thing that can be improved is what one of the audience members asked me when I gave my presentation, is to involve the private sector. I think you can even make better events in the future by inviting the private sector. Actually, not just you here, all of us. When we do similar events, I think we can gain by inviting the private sector and also communicate better between academia and practice together with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, please.
Thank you. I do agree. A very nice catering, Takara-sensei. Thank you very much. And also, I do agree with your comment in regard with the involving private sectors. We do have annual meetings with the Minister of Energy. On the high-level discussion, we try to also engaging with the private sectors. We have occasion, we call it ASEAN Energy Business Forum. But the thing that we miss is the researcher and academician. So when I'm in the office last month, I'm trying to convince my colleague and also my partner in the ASEAN member states to incorporate these three pillars: politician, business sector, private sectors, and also later on the academician and researcher. So hopefully the initiation hopefully will start next year. And then of course, negotiation with the politician is there. So I hope your wish will come true. So we need all the support so we can discuss further.
Okay, thank you very much. So here only policymakers and industries located here. This is very small portion, and academia is here, but we have to consider importance of those two pillars you mentioned. Any other comments, questions, or additions? So I didn't have time to make a statement of conclusion, but I guess you have some ideas about the relationship between academia and the practice, and also how to further enhance human survivability studies for solving global issues. Actually, our students are doing very well, as you saw. Today, only 6 students did presentations, and the 3 students made poster presentations. But we have some other more than 50 students. They are also doing their research with supervisors and also professors in Kyoto University. And I hope you expect our further outcomes by students and also my colleagues, professors, and researchers in Shishukan. So with this, I'd like to conclude this concluding session and the symposium. Any other final comments? No? Okay. Thank you very much for your kind cooperation, and I'd like to close this symposium is successfully completed. Thank you very much.